Hi, this is Travis Coon with Technical Training Aids. I want to thank you for joining our discussion today about Levil and CNC technologies that they offer to educators. And I want to thank you for joining us and look forward to our discussion today.
Thank you so much, Travis, for joining me today. I have Travis, who is the president of TTA. Travis, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company and what it is that you guys do?
For sure. Good morning to you, Michelle, and thanks for hosting this chat session that we're having. So yes, I am the president of Technical Training Aids and Prototyping Solutions. We are a solutions provider for 12 states here in the Southeast. Our products range from basic software packages up to high-end CNC offerings, 3D printing, robotics, everything in between. And so we service customers all over the Southeast in the education market. And then commercially, we service companies that range from smaller mom and pop shops to large aerospace and automotive industries with 3D printing and 3D scanning technologies. We've been in business since 1963, so you don't have that kind of success over nearly 60 years without having great partners like Levil and also having a great team that really focus on servicing the customers.
Absolutely. So can you give us a little bit of history? How did you guys get started?
Sure. So our current owner, Larry Baggett, his brother Kurt, recognized a niche in the market, back in the early to mid 60s with electronics kind of becoming a big push in education. It was kind of the boom of the electronics industry, and there really weren't many people offering services to schools to teach it. So they got into the business that way, and then things just continued to slowly grow over time. Different companies that came along that maybe had technologies that had an industry relevance in education, but they weren't sure how to get in and sell and service the education market. And that's where TTA and other companies like us really prospered, providing that service and those products to educators across the country.
That's great. So you mentioned you cover the Southeast. Could you tell us what specific states people would want to reach out to you if they're in?
Sure. We are in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, North and South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida.
Geez, that's a lot to handle. So, I mean, you must have a big team. So what's your team like? How many people are there and who's out on the ground supporting all of those states?
You bet. So we've got about 37 employees right now. I'm looking to add a couple more right now as well. So we're looking for a service tech down in Florida and then another service tech here in Birmingham, Alabama. So yeah, we continue to grow. Almost half of that 37 people is sales team. The other half is, office staff, technical support, field service technicians, et cetera. And I'm really happy to say, I've been on the Technical Training Aids team for going on 8 years now. I've known this team for a long time, since back to the mid 90s. And most of our employees are, 10 years plus. So we don't have a high turnover. We've got great team members that love what we do, love our customers, and they stay on board and really enjoy being a part of our team.
That makes a big difference with the customers, I'm sure. Speaking of customers, what sets you guys apart from other people that offer education solutions in your states? Why you guys?
It's a great question, and I think it goes back to what we were just talking about. Our team are dedicated to what we do, and they've been here for a long time. They know a lot of these customers personally. Mm-hmm. So for us, it really is personal. We want to make sure that our customers are taken care of, that they're able to provide the type of training and success to the students that we expect, and that the teachers and that the students, that the whole ecosystem expects. And I think because we have team members here on our staff that have been here for so long, it really, we're like family, and it really is very important that we're doing the right thing. And again, I mentioned earlier, you don't stay in business for 60 years and continue to grow without doing things the right way. It's not that we don't make mistakes every once in a while, we certainly do, but it's how you overcome those mistakes that I think sets you apart from other folks out there.
Well, that's one of our favorite reasons we love working with you guys. You always make us feel right at home, and you support our customers, which is one of the most important things we could ask for. Tell us a little bit about your aftermarket support. So we've now equipped these facilities with, a range of your product solutions. What happens after that?
So I mentioned earlier, we're looking for, a couple new service technicians. So we have service techs stationed around that territory. As we discussed earlier, we have a pretty large geographic area that we cover. And so in order to do that, we've got service technicians stationed in different locations around the territory so that they can get to customers quickly. They're from that region, so it's easier for them to build that relationship with the customer because you've got basically the same service tech coming to see you, each time. But we've got enough folks that we can, if somebody's covered up and we need to get to a customer quickly, we've got other folks that can come in behind those people. And we do everything from, and it's not just our service techs, the sales team, because they've been here for so long, they're fairly technical, they're fairly knowledgeable with things, with the products that we represent. So whether it's the sales guys stopping by to say hi periodically and just checking in on how the equipment's working, how the program's going, to the service technicians, stopping in, not just when there's a problem, but maybe sometimes just doing a quick check-in, make sure that things are being maintained properly. We typically see, especially with the higher quality products that we typically try to represent, those things last a long time, and they only last a long time if you take care of them properly. So that's a big thing that we try to go through with our teachers, our customers, is that it's not difficult to maintain, but it's just something you've got to set reminders for yourself and make sure that you're cleaning the equipment, doing proper lubrication, certain types of checkups. And when we see turnover in labs, that's one thing that we like to do is go back in with the new instructors and kind of go through all that, a little bit of like an orientation with them to let them know what needs to be done and how we're here to help. And so from periodic visits to just being here to answer the phone, every day, we don't have a particular, set of time that we service a customer for. When you're a TTA customer, you're a customer for life. And so we'll do phone and internet support, for as long as we can service the product. And then if there's, replacement items or certain things that are outside of the scope of a standard service call, there may be some times where there's a fee for that, but we're here to answer the phone and help you in any way we can forever.
That's incredible. I'm sure they greatly appreciate it, because I know sometimes it can be overwhelming getting things going and making sure everything is just right. So I personally have had the pleasure of coming to your facility, but can you tell us a little bit about, if somebody wants to come and see some of these products in person and learn more, and how do they go about that?
They could contact us through the website. There's a spot there to make an inquiry. You can email us at sales@ttaweb.com, make an inquiry that way. You can reach out to your local sales rep. Our home office is based here in Birmingham, Alabama. We do cover a large area. So sometimes somebody, in the eastern part of North Carolina doesn't want to drive all the way to Birmingham or make a flight. COVID has taught us that, there's other ways to be successful in showing folks what we do and how we do it. So we're happy to have, people come to Birmingham anytime that they would want to, but we also have great customers around our territory that love to show off what they've done, and how they're using the equipment. So that, I would say we probably do that more often than having people come to our facility, is we find the great partners that we have, around the territory and schedule visits that way. For folks that are close to, you guys in Florida, it's always best to go to the manufacturer and see what they're doing and how they're doing it. So we invite folks to contact us to set up visits like that as well.
That's great.
We try to make it convenient for them. Whatever is fits their needs the best, that's how we want to handle it.
So Travis, tell me, what would you want anybody watching this video right now to know about you and your team? Just the fact that we're here for their success and their students' success. That's really the biggest part of what we do and why we do it. And if whether you're looking for CNC equipment, robotics, 3D printing, whether you think it's something that we can help you with or not, reach out to your local sales rep, from the TTA team. They're there to help you, whether it's something that we can provide or something that we've been in this business for so long. We know a lot of people, we know a lot of the products. And so we like to just be a resource for our customers, regardless. So, check us out, give us an opportunity to help you. And I think we can prove to you that we can have a really long, successful relationship. That's wonderful. And to kind of wrap up towards the end, we did a poll and we asked, what do people want to know about CNC machines and 3D printing? Do you mind helping me answer a few of these questions? I would love to. Cool. So the first one I have here is, why are CNC machines so expensive? Yeah, that's a great question. So, it's kind of a relative question. There are some very inexpensive CNC machines out there, but you kind of get what you pay for. And I think that's true with almost any type of equipment, any type of electronics. We see that with CNC equipment, with 3D printers, with robots, you name it. But I think it's, you get what you pay for. And even though people think that that's expensive, if you look at the life expectancy of a Levil type CNC machine, you're using higher quality, motors, the axis guides, the controllers, the software, the support, the service, everything about it is next level. So, if you go online and you buy a cheap CNC machine, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get the support. It's not going to hold up as long. So we like to kind of do an ROI. And, if you compare what I call a cheap CNC machine to a higher quality, cost-effective CNC machine like Levil, I think when you look at the life expectancy of both and what it's going to cost you in the long run, I think it's pretty easy to make the right choice. Well, I'm sure that's one of the things that you guys do is help people make those choices and pick the best fit for them. So that's huge. Another question we have is, are CNC machines hard to learn? They're really not. It's one of those things that we also pride ourselves on, is that we're here to help in that process. So whether it's a high school instructor that's new to a fab lab type scenario and has never really done CNC, or it's an experienced machine tool instructor at a college, we can help bridge the gap, between those type customers. So the nice thing about your products is that it's a great machine, easy to set up, easy to use, fantastic support, but we also have curriculum to go along with that. And so I think that's a really important piece, and that kind of goes back to the cost of the package. If you buy something that's cheap and doesn't have all the right tools, then it's, you get what you pay for. You're probably not going to get the best use out of it. With your systems, with the curriculum and the CNC certification, we can help that instructor through that entire process and make them and their students successful. I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent. You mentioned certifications. What kind of certifications could a school partner with you guys on to make their students successful? Sure. So with the Levil equipment and their partnership with FANUC, there's a CNC certification that's available through Mike Lynch. Trying to think of the name of the CNC Concepts. CNC Concepts. Yes, thank you. It seems so simple. I totally spaced it, but so they've got a really great curriculum and certification that will bring somebody up to a CNC operator level certification, which seems to be a very successful program. What benefit does a student have? You know, they walk out with this piece of paper. What difference does that make in the workforce?
It definitely gives them a leg up on competition to get into machine tool program somewhere, whether it's a high-end manufacturer, automotive, whatever their kind of niche in the market is. When they see that certification, that means that student not only has gone through, I would call the curriculum, the book learning part, but they have proven that they can do what they've learned. So they can demonstrate that they can actually operate a CNC, they can program it, they can run successful parts. So to me, it's kind of a little bit of a proof that, it's not just they went through a program, they can actually demonstrate that they learned what they were supposed to learn.
That's great. Well, Travis, I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to answer some of these questions, to introduce you guys to, to hopefully some people out there that have more questions and will be reaching out to learn more from you.
That sounds wonderful. We appreciate you putting this together, and always fun to hang out and talk with you, Michelle.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.